brings us to Stamullen and County Meath. We meet two young lads whose dad has been highlighting and posting videos of them giving advice on gardening. This has been a huge social media success on Twitter. Valerie Waters went to meet them.
Dublin man Ciarán de Butler, who works in IT, loves his garden here in Stamullen, County Meath. For him, it's all about the hard work that goes into making his patch into a place of beauty that encourages pollinators and birds.
The low maintenance garden is a horror to me. It's like a no fun pub or something like that. The maintenance of the garden is the part of the pleasure, obviously.
Ciarán's two sons, Sam, aged 12, and Zach, aged 8, are also keen gardeners.
We love growing plants from seed and that kind of thing, seeing the whole life cycle of the plant and getting involved there also saves an awful lot of money. We've got hundreds of plants in the greenhouse there. It would have cost hundreds of euro to buy, and a few packets of seeds cost almost nothing, a bit of compost. So it's very easy to do.
At this time of year we have succulents, maples, a lot of little plants. It's very colourful. Well, I noticed change in the garden over the seasons, and like during the winter it's more green, but during the summer and when it's hotter there's a lot of like colourful plants.
My dad films us on his iPhone.
Why?
Because it inspires people to do more gardening.
We set up Twitter about a couple of years ago, and just to share the garden really with people, pictures of the garden, and to out of interest put up pictures and videos of the garden, because some people don't have gardens. Some people, especially more recently, then couldn't go out in their own gardens due to lockdown, and we wanted to encourage people to get into gardens.
This is how you plant garlic. You get one of these, dig a hole, you make sure that this is pointing up, and then the flat end is going down into the hole, and then you cover it up with soil, and then after, this is how I do it. I put my glove there, put this here, and then I do it here.
In another post, Sam shows how to make a bug hotel.
And as you can see, there's holes in these sticks, so you put them in, you plug them in there, you stuff it up, and then it's a bug hotel.
We started to get a huge response in terms of thousands of people liking and retweeting and commenting, and a lot of people had said that it had helped them and it cheered them up, it encouraged them to do some gardening.
I'm re-putting in Cosmos, would you care to look?
It seems like a lot of people like our content. Now here we go. I'll put on video, or photo. So I have it on video. So what are you going to say?
I'm planting these dahlias and the bees love them.
Cool. So Zach is planting these dahlias into a tray of moist compost. It's filled up to within 1/4 inch of the top. So we're going to put the rest of the seeds there. You can see the seeds there spaced out about 1 inch apart. So Zach is now going to plant the rest of the seeds in there and separate them out about 1 inch apart. And then we're going to just top that off with a little bit of seed compost up to the top, which is about 1/4 inch, like it says in the packet. Let's see, Zach is at that now. And we're going to basically fill that tray up to the top and then press it down. And then we're going to sit them in the warm greenhouse, and they should germinate within a couple of weeks. Creating a video, putting it up there for everybody to see, you know, for a child especially, is a difficult thing. They understand that people will see it, people might comment on it, people will comment on it. We've had no negative comments particularly. Can't say zero, but very, very few negative comments. Could probably count them on one hand. The boys got involved because they really do like doing this stuff, and they feel that it would be good for other children and other people to get involved in doing this kind of thing.
I'm Sam, and this is what you'll need to plan your
potatoes, 1 compost, 2 potatoes, and 3 a decent sized container.
Twitter is a social media platform where people can send a lot of stuff they like. And we like gardening, and a lot of other people like gardening. So when we post gardening stuff, it might make someone's day a little bit better, or it might show them how to do something they couldn't do before.
Kieran's wife, Fiona, is happy to leave the gardening to the lads in the family. She's glad to see her sons getting a large following on Twitter.
The boys are little stars on it as well. They enjoy their videos and they have a good few followers. Zach has received a few different things, and he's had seeds sent from America. He's had t-shirts sent from America. He's had there's other items, but it's more the fact that they're kind of getting involved as children to do something, and it's encouraging other children in different countries to do exactly the same.
I'm going to eat the first tomato I've ever eaten right now.
So on Twitter at the moment we have approaching 50,000 followers. We could get in a month approximately 1 million people seeing our content. So the boys have been gardening from a very young age with me, because I'd be out doing it and they want to go out and see what Daddy's doing. I've always let them join in. It's not necessarily speeding up the task, but it's important for the kids to be doing gardening. I think it teaches them from fine motor skills to biology to horticulture to understanding of the environment to gross motor skills to strength and all kinds of skills. It has taught them, and when they get into a particular task, I can't really explain it, but they kind of get into the zone, and it's the task and nothing else, and the focus is incredible. And I think for kids to have an interest in something like this, it can last them their entire life.
Just a few minutes' drive away in the village of Stamullen lives Tanya Crow. She and her son Cathal are keen gardeners. Tanya has offered Kieran de Butler and his sons part of her 2-acre garden in which they can grow vegetables.
I used to see Kieran on social media. He'd on Facebook and on Twitter and stuff like that, and he has 2 boys and my son was into gardening, so I decided to contact him on Facebook was where I contacted him and asked him if he'd be interested in coming up and doing a bit of gardening with the boys, basically because we're lucky to have it, so it's just nice to share it back.
It's an extraordinarily generous thing for somebody to do, and just shows what can happen in communities. And this just came out of the blue and landed, so we've been delighted to set that up and to get up there, and it's been a huge benefit to myself and the kids.
The garden is quite large, so it's great that they're taking a part of it, and it's not as much work, I suppose, as well. And they share tips with my son Cathal, and they talk about what they're going to do and plan. So we found it a really positive experience, and definitely recommend it to other people.
Back in the de Butler household, when the day's work is done, it's time for the family to relax and to enjoy their own garden.
It is a great thing to be able to do, is just to get out there. And I encourage people to just go out in the garden and do something. If you don't feel like it, you probably feel better afterwards than you did before.
At GardeningWell is where you'll find the de Butlers on Twitter.
Well done to the young lads in County Meath, because they're so passionate about plants and gardening.